Back on TYT Sports, time for our JURKS segment, always the more fun segment of Turks and Jerks. I'm going to start real quick with Michael Crabtree because we've seen the problems with unsportsmanlike conduct penalties throughout this season, and the fact that they get penalized for the kickoff, which really isn't that much of a penalty. Where it can be a penalty, though, is the fact that if you rack up enough of them, you get ejected from a game. And yesterday, I don't know what the refs are on because here's a nice little screenshot of what Michael Crabtree did. And what ensued after that was, and no, there is no cutting of the neck, as they wanted to say afterwards. Oh, he signaled he might have been slashing a throat. Nah, if you watch it in real time, he goes like this. Goes like that. And
he just thrown the ball up and he put his hand out like this.
What is it? Is that a, what is that?
Who knows? Is he pointing to somebody? Is he pointing to his shoulder? Is it unsportsmanlike conduct?
It was a part of his swag walk. It was like he threw the ball up and he was walking to get one of these.
It diverted to JR.
Like, as if like an extra walk, like an extra swag.
The conduct official on the panel.
Yeah, it still matters who you are, of course, because I imagine that
if Odell does it, you're going to get flagged, of course. If I'm trying to think of another.
If
Terrell Owens,
I bet Julian Edelman could get away with it.
Absolutely, that's what I was going to say. Gronkowski,
Right.
they like these guys. Like these guys have fun in zone celebrations.
Anybody see Rob Gronkowski's press conference? They asked him. They said, how does it feel to have like 68 touchdowns? You're about to break the record. He goes, hey, one more is 69, if you know what I mean.
Jesus.
But Crabtree has, earned an extra look from officials. But it's funny because imagine now I'm seeing it. I didn't see that when it happened. Yeah. But seeing him do that, it almost is like, look, you're not going to get me to do nothing. Like, I'm not going to let you win totally. And he's like, I can do that. Really? That? I can't do that?
So the refs are jerks, not Michael Crabtree. Michael Crabtree is not a jerk.
It's a part of the problem. But just because I had mentioned that, I'll go really fast, I promise, on this, the Crabtree thing. There's the throat slashing, therefore it signifies death, right? I don't know if a guy, there's other violent things that celebrations guys have. Clay Matthews does The Predator. The Predator ripped people apart in that film. Shot people with cannons and guns and bombs.
A couple levels removed.
But all I'm saying, that's all I'm saying. He doesn't actually have a knife out. That's all I'm saying. If you're doing the throat slash.
I'm sure you couldn't do the.
Bet you could. Guarantee you could. Then there's Aaron Rodgers does the discount double check. That's wrestling. You know what they do in wrestling? They slam people and they do the throat. They do the throat cut in wrestling. The Undertaker did it all the time. These are stupid rules. Who cares? He does a throat slash. Then what a kid in high school is going to go on his football team, score a touchdown, and pull the fucking knife out of the sideline and cut somebody? No, it doesn't matter that he does a throat slash, even because he didn't do a throat slash. So if he did, who cares? Who died? Oh my God, nobody. Stop. Shut the fuck up.
I usually agree with you, but I don't. I think that you got to draw a line somewhere.
Where?
Okay, how
Here?
about this?
And not with guns?
Could they? Yeah, well, no. I mean, but the NFL, obviously, you can't take out a gun. I'm pretty sure we all agree that.
He didn't take out a knife.
Took out a gun.
Well, he didn't take out a knife.
I got it. What if they imitated urinating on someone, like stood over him and acted like you're cool with that?
You know what? I don't really care.
Well,
you know what else? You know what happened? Who is it? They got me blanking on names. The Broncos.
Von Miller.
Von Miller did the pelvic thrust. It was the best celebration of the entire last season, and he had to stop doing it. Because what does it do? Oh my God, pelvic thrust, oh my God, this is horrible. We're the most sensitive country, but we talk about how fucking badass we are. Oh yeah, F you, we'll kill you. But you can't do simple things like that. It's so ridiculous.
With you, JR. I say let the free market take over. The people that do the obscene gestures don't get the sponsorships, they don't get the deals. The people that don't and still stick to the clean script.
But they will get the sponsorships. And the NFL is perfectly within its rights to restrict particularly obscene behavior. Just because, first of all, when they didn't restrict it, it was getting out of hand. I mean, Mark Gastineau's sack dance got stupid, and everybody was doing it. Like, let's go, man. First of all, I'm a big believer in the act like you've been there before. So act like you've been there before.
Sure.
Michael Crabtree,
that's a fine coaching thing to tell guys.
But slashing a throat, mimicking acts of violence that cause true, legitimate suffering in others. Not pelvic dance. Nobody suffers from a pelvic dance. So I'm with you on the pelvic dance. But I would eliminate anything that is violent or humiliating. But it's just not cool. It's not. I mean, this is again like it is. The league is watched by young people, and I would like it if we raised a society where kids didn't think that was hilarious. So I would say the NFL can help a little just by restricting. The problem is when they obviously are going to get stuff wrong, and at times they're going to go too far. But no one is saying you can't, and they certainly shouldn't be saying, we don't want the no fun league where you can't celebrate.
No.
It's Washington.
It's already the no fun league.
No, but
For what they flagged the most ridiculous things. They're hypocritical in all their calls.
But we haven't stopped all celebrations. We're going a little too far in ripping the NFL for it. Back in the 80s when Washington had the fun bunch and they didn't want it choreographed, all the Washington receivers would get together after a touchdown and they would and they'd all high five each other. It was delightful, because that again, no one's getting hurt by that. So that seems okay to me. And then I get that they don't want Terrell Owens taking out the pen and writing the stuff. I would say
I don't get the pen either. What's the
They find
I would let anything happen other than slash in the throat. I'm now obsessed with a guy standing over a guy and pretending.
But don't forget, this is last year.
No one's ever done that. I'm the only person who thought of it.
I feel like I have seen like a leg lift, like you're a dog pissing on something. I feel like I've seen that. That does get penalized.
I would ban that.
The point here is the hypocrisy, because they also fined Cam Newton for handing out footballs to kids last year. Okay, so there's a hypocrisy there. There really is.
It's not a hypocrisy. It's an inconsistency. My jerk. I want this to be clear. I'm not really giving it to Jeff Fisher.
Oh yeah.
But I am going to give it to the Rams organization. So yesterday, Case Keenum. First of all, the Rams throw the ball 53 times. Among the things that Jeff Fisher says after the game, after they lose 17-10 to the Giants, is. He sort of calls out, or I guess he was asked a question about his left tackle, Greg Robinson, who got called 3 times for holding and a false start. 2 of the holding penalties were declined. Fisher said, second to the quarterback position on offense, the left tackle position is probably the hardest play. When you're trying to get people out on routes and trying to get the ball down here and there, oftentimes he's going to be left on his own. Again, Greg is a talented player, but we didn't bring Greg into our organization thinking we're going to throw the ball 50 times. Well, then you should talk to the coach. I'm pretty sure that you can play a significant role in how many times you throw the ball. Case Keenum threw 4 interceptions. Fisher, after the game, said that, was it Quick or was it Britt? I think it was Britt on the last play, didn't run the right route.
Oh, when they cut it off.
When he just threw it, he just threw the easiest interception.
Two of the easiest interceptions
ever. Now, some balls went off receivers' hands. Tavon Austin had a chance at it, but they also weren't perfect throws, But I got it. He doesn't have the guys around him. These aren't elite NFL receivers, but we all know what Case Keenum is, and I root for Case Keenum. Anybody who likes sports should root for Case Keenum. You like Case Keenum's wife. You like that he's sort of, these journeyman guys who's he's into it, he's psyched, this is a great opportunity for him. I want him to succeed. But if you gave up what the Rams gave up to get Jared Goff, you should probably find out what kind of player he is. Now, the reason I'm not totally calling out Fisher is because you can tell when he says, one of the other things he says here is Jared is going to play when we feel Jared is ready. Well, that means Jared's not ready, right? That's what that means. And if he's not ready, he didn't hold out. He was there all at camp. It's been 7 weeks of the regular season and 4 weeks of preseason, plus all the training camp. If he's not ready, the evidence is mounting considerably. They already would appear to have made a mistake by not taking Wentz or not making this trade at all. They appear to have made perhaps compounding the mistake by not only not getting Wentz, but getting a guy who's not ready, who's currently behind Sean Mannion on the depth chart. So whatever mistake this organization has made in getting Goff, or not, but he is not ready, and then to have Fisher, who says he's going to stick with Case Keenum and the 4 interceptions and a guy who shouldn't be throwing 53 times. The rest of that quote is, Jared is going to play when we feel Jared is ready. And then he adds this, had we won this game, you wouldn't be asking about Jared. No shit. You're right. We wouldn't, because you would have won the game. And the point is, you make the change because you're losing games and you want to win games.
Well, if they won the game and Case Keenum still threw 4 interceptions, they most definitely would be asking about
The worst case
Jared
scenario
Goff.
for the Rams is that he is not ready, right? And will never be ready, of course. Maybe their best case is that they think he'll get ready and they don't want to put him into a position to fail. But then that suggests that his confidence is so fragile that would hurt him. The other worst case, I would say, another similar worst case, you can't have 2 worst cases, but a similar case would be if Fisher was doing it because Keenum gives him the best chance to win now, and he wants to make the playoffs to save his job. But we've already read that they're close to a new 3-year deal for Fisher. That hasn't been finalized. But that suggests, and if Fisher doesn't want to go 9, and maybe Keenum gives him his best chance to avoid going 7 and 9, then Goff does. That says terrible things about Goff, because a team, what would clearly help Todd Gurley is some defense somewhere to be afraid that you might complete a pass.
It's obvious that the conflict that's going on with this, or you said it's an organizational problem. So as far as trading and your moves and who you picked up and who you drafted and just scouting and getting the right guy in the system and then having certain guys in and your offensive lineman, we didn't plan to throw 55 fucking times in a game. All that stuff that's coming together, there's like an institutional problem from top to bottom of this organization. They can't figure it out. And if none of that is matching up, if you throw in Jared Goff, which I don't agree he should come in either, because you're going to destroy this kid.
But how fragile is he? I mean, Wentz is playing, and Paxton Lynch played a game.
They have a game plan. I hate to bring up the Patriots, but they had a third-string quarterback come in and be semi-successful, at least won a game. And they lost one with him as well. But they make it so someone can have some level of success. It's not a one-man thing. A quarterback can't come in and change a team. If this team sucks, we saw what happened with
Andrew Luck. You're talking about Andrew Luck's career. The team sucks.
And now everyone forgot who Andrew Luck was. So like he can't do it on his own. So you put in a rookie who is behind, and it's going to be even worse. People go, oh, what's wrong with this guy? We're telling you right now, before he's got his head taken off, there's something wrong with this guy. He's a young kid. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. We made a mistake by drafting him.
Comment below. Leave your jerks.
Great play by Ray Guy.
Ray Guy in the comment section below. We'll be back next week.